She puts all of that into a book and keep making them. Literally a fish in a tree. Anxiety.
Where did she go? Yeah, she thought she could do anything, thought she could get anywhere. Confident she's number one, and if nothing, everybody's wrong. Used to be calm, now I can't remember how I used to.
Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Marquita Lachey XO, and I'm so glad to have you guys here with me again today. Okay, so we are going to be talking about these three today. Y'all know that this is an interconnected standalone series, kind of, but like your girl cannot read books out of order. I had to go and read them in order, and it just so happened. So I already had Just for the Summer in my TBR. So then I went to a free little library, and there is never no good books in there, but happened to be Part of Your World was in there, and I was like, what? It was like telling me it was time to read these books. I felt like that was my calling to read Abby Jimenez. From my last video, you can tell I've been wanting to read her. So I was so happy to see that this book was in there. So if you watched my last video, I'm gonna stop at 4 books, and I did. But I keep walking past them because I need to pick that. So you don't know. Then I went and got the 3rd book because I had the other 2 and I couldn't have them not being together. I couldn't do that to them. But we're gonna talk about this series as a whole today. And look, guys, I've started tabbing. I feel so grown up now. Hold on, let me show you. I finally started tabbing. Now, don't mind this first book. I was learning, and I wasn't really understanding, but I think I kind of got the hang of it, as you can see from the other 2. Yo, girl, done learned how to tab. We're just going to be talking about these 3 books and kind of what I rate them and how I feel about them, which one is the best one to me, which is my least favorite. Let's start with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love this book so much. I really, really love this book. From the first page, I was kind of just thrown in and I couldn't get out. Like, I was in that book. And I don't know. It's just, now I have my preconceived notions just from different reviews and from other people talking about that she does miscommunication tropes too much and she drags it and drags it and drags it. But I loved it. And this one I don't think is a miscommunication trope. It's like a age gap, something else. Age gap, 2 different worlds. I don't know, something like that. But the other ones are miscommunication tropes, if I'm not mistaken. This story follows Alexis and Daniel. And Daniel lives in a very small town where, you know, you kind of get the vibes of everybody takes care of everybody in this town. And when I was reading this book, it really reminded me of like Virgin River. And let me see, I put some notes in here about the places. Green Acres, Heart of Dixie. If you watched any of those shows, that this was the vibe I was getting. I really loved that because I love those shows. And I was like, oh, I love this. This is cute because Alexis, she from the city. She works in a big hospital. Her family name is on the hospital. She's that girl. She's got that money and she's a doctor. He, on the other hand, he is the mayor of his little small town or whatever. And he does little side jobs and he does a lot of things for the community. And he has his own family home that he is trying to own. But he runs it, but it's not his yet. So anyways, this was so cute. So cute. I'm not going to go into too much detail, just that she ended up getting stuck in his town on the side of the road. He happens to stop, help her with her tire, go about their day, end up seeing each other again. I don't know what Abby puts in these books. Like, I can't even get the words out. Like, Abby, your girl be eating. She be eating because I love how I didn't feel like it was too heavy of a book, but she touches heavy subjects. And that's what's weird to me. How can you bring all these tough, hard subjects to the front line of a book, but still makes it like soft and just readable and loving characters at the same time? We don't like Neil, but then you even start trying to understand Neil at some point, and kind of sympathizing with him and learning things he needed to learn in life, I guess. But I don't know, still don't like Nia too much. But your girl, Abby, how does she do it? I don't know. But this one, I love that they touch on heavy subjects in this book. Okay, this one touches on like different forms of abuse that's not physical, because a lot of people in the community don't believe emotional and mental abuse is as real or as big or heavy as physical abuse, and they are all equal. They're all bad. They're all horrible things to do, and people don't really even see emotional and mental abuse when it's happening in front of their face. And they touch on mental and emotional abuse in this book. I love how they show how this type of abuse can play out in this book. So that was awesome. What do I rate this? I haven't rated these yet. I'm gonna rate them with you guys because I'm trying to think. Ooh, this was a 5-star. I have to give it 5 stars. Like, Abby, focus. Is it gonna focus? Abby is that girl. Abby is that girl. Abby 8 down. Okay, the next one is yours truly, and this one follows her best friend Brianna, and Jacob. I'm not mistaken. Yes, Dr. Jacob and Brianna. And I was more excited, even reading the other book, Part of Your World. I was so excited by watching Bree's character in that book. I could not wait to read this one because I was like, I just felt like her character was going to be more down to earth and more real and more understanding. And I was going to get her a lot more. And I just wanted to see her win because she wasn't winning in this book. She wasn't getting what she was wanting. And I wanted to see her win. And she wins in this book. And it's absolutely beautiful. Jacob and Brianna are absolutely beautiful people. And this is a miscommunication tropes, and I just realized miscommunication tropes might be my thing because I love it. Like, it gives, I don't know, I'm just so excited about these books. I can read them again. Like, let me just go ahead and tell y'all, this is my favorite book out of the whole series. This is my favorite book. If I could go over 5 stars, I would, because this book, it's something that I will lay truly and deeply to my heart, probably forever. It is one of my favorites of the year. It touches on so much. Like I told you, Abby is always touching on things that you wouldn't expect. In this book, she touches on anxiety, and I feel like people downplay anxiety so much, and they don't understand how serious of a condition it is. And with me having anxiety, like, this book had me about to cry. Like, this book just had me so emotional. Like, I was thinking about my own life, about my own persona, things, how I deal with anxiety, how I could deal with them better, just how other people and the people you have around you are important because they play a big part on your anxiety as well, and how you can handle things and how they judge you, or just having the right people in your circle, because you know some people don't know how to deal with anxiety, or seeing your person or your friend having anxiety and they might feel like you're just making this up, or this isn't really who you are, or you just didn't want to do this, or they just don't understand it. They put you in a position that they shouldn't put you in. But then if you have real friends and a real partner, you're going to feel supported and loved and know that there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing at all. And that would never make you feel that way. And that book really, really, really got to me. This book, y'all. But Jacob in here has anxiety, and he talks about how he deals with it, his regimen, his life, his friends, what triggers it. And it's so cute because he didn't know how to talk to her because he's always overthinking everything. And Brianna is mean as hell in his book because she is going through a lot. So she's a tough cookie. So he ends up transferring to her hospital. She is going for a position, and she finds out that he is going for the same position she's going for. But that's, again, another miscommunication that she ain't knowing right now. But anyway, she's mean to him. He's just like, oh man, what did I do to you? What? Then he's overthinking. So then they start writing letters back and forth to each other, because the best way that he could speak to her or talk to her or apologize for anything that he might have done or came off wrong as he put in a letter for her, and that was just so cute. And then the story goes on, they write letters to each other, and you'll see. But like I said, people inside there, they have a hard time always trying to form words in the right way, or overthinking about the smallest thing. You can overthink about a million different things in a million different ways, and it can stress you out so bad, so bad. And just, it's better to put words into letters or text sometime over, saying them in front of somebody. And I struggle with all of this so much around talking around people. Oh, it's just so hard. It's just so freaking hard. But this book has helped me a lot. And I do want to talk about a quote that was in here. I put it on my Instagram, but let me see if I can find it. All right, here it is. Have you ever heard the quote, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it would live its whole life believing that it's stupid? Yeah, sounds like Amy really likes hanging out in trees. I laughed a little. I will never judge you for how you climb a tree, Jacob, and you should know that you are an exceptional fish. You see, that is just so sweet in how they put that. It made me think about, we're just in the wrong environment. Like, we were put in circumstances that just our brain kind of wasn't prepared for. I am literally a fish in a tree. And it just explained, it made so much sense. And I just love this book so much. Yours truly. Oh my gosh, I love this book. But yes, 6 stars. 6 stars. Definitely 6 stars. But okay, I'm gonna move on now. Let's go to Just for the Summer. This is the book that everybody was raving about this summer. So I was so ready to go into this book, and I was like so prepared. I was like, oh my gosh, how is this book gonna live up to the hype after reading those two first? And I was like, ugh. But from the beginning of this book, it was a little bit of a drag for me, just because I think if I had read this book without reading the other two first, I would have enjoyed it more. But can't nothing overdo them two books that I just read first. So this was just like, okay, you're just laying the icing on. I understand. I feel it. It's good. I understand what you were doing. Hit on some hard topics again, but it just didn't make me as emotional as those two did. But Just for the Summer is about Justin and Emma, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Emma and Justin. So they live in two different territories, different places, different states. And Justin is kind of on the internet, and he writes what's it called? Is it a blog? Or like, he writes under a surname or a fake name, and he just writes about his life, and he changes the character's name because he's going through a lot, and he can't seem to keep a girlfriend. So every time his girlfriend breaks up with him or he breaks up with her, that person finds the love of their life after him. So he writes about that in his little blog post. And so Emma is on the same site that he's on, and she sees his little post and she thinks they're cute. So she ends up commenting on one, or sending him a message or something like that. And she's having the same problem. Every guy that she meets and dates ends up with somebody else, and it ends up being the love of their life. So they decide to date each other to hopefully cancel that out, so that this little curse will break, and then the next person that they will meet will be the love of their life. If you got that, if you get it. But she's a travel nurse, so she's never in the same place for too long. He, on the other hand, has to stay in the place that he is in. If he could move or go where she was, he would definitely do that. But because of certain things that's going on, he can't. So she ends up taking a travel assignment to where he lives to spend the summer there. And then they start connecting, and a lot goes on from there. But the only part that I really want to talk about is the other heavy part. Like, each book had a heavy topic. So this heavy topic focuses on mother trauma, I guess, and how when you have bad parents or parents that just weren't there for you in different ways, it touches on that. And it touches on her issues and her commitment issues and her attachment issues and detachment issues because her mother left her when she was little. She had to go through foster care. But at the same time, her mother would always come back because her mother seems to have mental issues and she has highs and lows. So when she's high, she's good, she's there, she's around. When she's low, she disappears and she never knows where her mother is at. And either way, she's always thinking about her mom. So if she disappears, she's stressed out, wondering if she's okay, if she's alive. But if she's around, she's worrying about when her next spiral will happen. You know. So she is always just empathized with her mother, and that's what kind of is the problem, that she has just waited waiting on her mother to become a better person so that she will love her correctly, like she should have done all along and been a mother to her. So she's just there kind of waiting, and she empathizes with the fact that she don't know her circumstances. She doesn't know what this woman went through in life, how hard her life was, why she is the way she is. So she has always just been like, okay, I'm just gonna understand her, I'm not gonna hate her for it. But it also touches on parts of things where you have to let go of things and make boundaries, because certain things can trigger you, certain things can hurt you. You got to figure out what is the real issue, and it touches on that mother trauma. So this was another book. I don't know, does Abby do this in all of her books? Because sheesh, I don't know, does she do this? Because it's like so light. Like when the couples are talking to each other, it's so light. It's a little funny. It's a little sweet. It's a little heartfelt. It's a little fluffy. And it's all so hard. I don't know how she puts all of that into a book and keep making them. But she is doing her big one. So I will have to rate this one. I'll give it 4 stars. Like I said, I liked it a lot. Liked it so much. But it just didn't hit like Yours Truly, A Part of Your World. I guess I don't know if I was kind of expecting what would happen, or I kind of knew the basis of what would probably happen. I probably kind of figured it out by reading them all, the sequence of events. I didn't hit as hard as the other ones. They are all very good books, and if you haven't read them, you definitely should, because they are going to tear you up, break you, and put you back together again, because they are that beautifully written. She knows how to write. And the thing that gets me is she never went to school for any of this. She was never a past writer. She didn't go to school for literature or journalism or anything. And she is such a beautiful writer. That is crazy to me. That is crazy. And I know it's a lot going on with Abby, as well as just a person, a human, because in these books it shows, and I think she kind of puts that stuff inside of her book. She uses some of her real life problems and puts them in here, I feel like, because I was reading a little bit and she was talking about things that she went through with medical issues, health issues, and how it scared her and caused her anxiety, I think. And I also just saw recently on the internet that she is again going through another health problem. So if you didn't know that, this is the time to reach out, say your prayers, see about caring about her, just sending her sweet, loving, caring messages, because she is not only an author, she is a person, and she is going through real life things, and she is a beautiful human being just by how she writes these books. And I hate that she is going through this at this time, and I hope she gets better soon. I really do. Oh, I don't know which one. Like, if y'all know the next Abby book I should read, let me know. I don't know. I know she got some more, so let me know in the comments what book I should read next by her, because I'm gonna read them all, but which one should I read next? Ooh. But anyways, guys, XOXO, thank you for watching this video. Mwah.
Remember how I used to do it, that I was a member of